Welcome, welcome, everybody. We were dancing because
I
of the
know, right?
music, right? This is Sunday Leftovers, and this is Trey Pruet. I love to
Morning,
see you.
everyone.
Good morning.
Same. Jason asked me yesterday, you can do Sunday leftovers? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. But then when you texted me, I'm like, I'd love to see Caesar. So this is why I'm on here, is to see your face. It's to see your face. How are you?
This is a perfect excuse to do that.
Yep,
And
yep, yep.
I must say something just before we start to talk about the last sermon. Well, actually, this is something related with that. Um, you have a very special ability. I don't know if you know this, but you have this special ability. I never miss one of your sermons. This is 100% truth. Jason he is my dearest friend, but sometimes I just miss one of his sermons. But I never miss your sermons. You
Oh,
have
no.
this special ability to put something very complex into very simple words that captures actually the essence of the message. Wait, I heard during that sermon.
Wow.
So it was great.
What's
It was great.
That's awesome. Simple is my one gear. I love simple. I get lost sometimes, in the complexities of theology, or the complexities of just the stuff we make it. And so
Right.
I'm like, okay, what does this really boil down to? Okay. I mean, let's go to its simplest form. And that's the stuff I do. And I, honestly, I hear back from people all the time, like, that really related to me. That really, um, you were saying things I could hear and I could digest. And so,
Good.
yeah, I like that. Thank you for that. That's a good compliment. And so, but it's not surprising. You don't have to watch a lot of sermons if you watch all my sermons. You know what I'm saying? You got like one or two a year. That's good. That's good.
but
Make sure.
I love to see your watch your sermons. I really enjoy that because
Well, thank you.
I mean I'm with you. And when you said sometimes we get lost with all the complexity about theology and this and that,
Right.
and sometimes the gospel is very straightforward. I mean, it's this
Yeah.
and that, and I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you must
Yeah.
get it, or maybe this is not more complex than that. Usually, we make simple things way too complex
You know
because
what?
it satisfies some areas of our lives, but I mean, maybe we push too much sometimes.
You don't have to. The thing is about it, you don't have to be brilliant. And you're brilliant, Caesar, so I don't even know what you're talking about. But you don't have to be brilliant to understand,
It's because my face is kind of oily. That's
right?
why.
Is that it? Okay.
I'm sorry. Because brilliant and shiny in
No,
Spanish
it's
is
different.
pretty
Same
much
thing.
the same. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No. Yeah, but it, if if somebody like me can't understand the gospel, you know, uh, I mean, I went to college, but and I mentioned that I mentioned that in my
You
sermon.
mentioned that. Yeah, you mentioned that.
I didn't go to a whole lot of classes in college, but I went to college. I graduated, but I was there for a good time. So I just anyway, I think we're all capable of understanding a simplistic gospel, and so that's kind of what I want to
Yeah.
relay to everyone. So
So let's talk about the things that you share last Sunday about the light
yeah,
and the way you approach to the light and the light
yeah.
in everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the thing, Caesar, the thing I got the most feedback was the letter to my little self, to
oh
my
yeah,
younger self.
that
And
was amazing. I
yeah.
was this close to start to cry.
Oh, no, no. I actually had a few people tell me they cried. One guy says, I have an extremely low dew point, and your message made me cry. That wasn't my intent, but I will honestly say this: when I was reflecting, there's so many more people I could have put in that, but for the sake of time and just simplicity, I just left it to two or three people, including my wife. You got to include the wife because we've been married 35 years, and so she's pretty much my light.
Yeah.
Um, but so many more people I could have added to that list down through the years. But I wanted to talk to my little self, my younger self, which those two people early on were formational in who in what I started to learn about Jesus and made me excited to learn more. So uh, funny thing was when I was on my way home from church after I'd just done that, and I saw the message posted on Facebook. Um, I I sent a copy of the link to the Facebook page to my
Hmm.
friend who I referenced her father,
Gotcha.
and I said, if please watch this and pass to your mom and dad. And she loved it. She sent it to them. They loved it, and so it wasn't the purpose. I said, excuse my self indulgence. I said, I don't ask people to watch my sermons or whatever, but I spoke fondly, and I think fondly of her and her family, and especially her dad, just in his walk with Jesus, and where at 80 something years old, I don't even know. I honestly don't know how old he is, but at 80 something years old, he, like me, changed his mind uh, on some critical things of theology as it relates to LGBTQ
Wow.
folks. So just in terms of a model, I may have modeled him early on, but man, what a way to finish! What a way to go out! So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of that whole family, and so that's kind of it. That's a personal thing
Yeah,
from
it's
Sunday.
beautiful. It is
Yeah,
beautiful. I think every time that we open ourselves to be vulnerable, because actually, when you wrote that letter to yourself, you make yourself vulnerable for other people that were listening to that letter. And
right.
when we do that, I think it's something. I mean, it's not magic, but it's something close to magic that connects with people, other people,
Hmm.
and maybe
Hmm.
maybe at the same time they start to make the same exercise,
Right.
maybe talking to their younger selves,
Yeah.
and you know, it's
And they're
like
not.
modeling something. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not, and Jason's made this point too. It's not a different person. It's the early tree ring. You know what I'm saying? And every year we just kind of keep building on it. It doesn't separate us from them. We are who
Right.
we are. I am who I was in college, and but thankfully I got to build upon that. I mean, there were times that I probably shouldn't have. I should have been the end of the tree, but uh, through through time though, I mean, we mature and we grow and we just keep learning. So
Right. Sometimes we we try we judge ourselves a lot during our journey in life. Sometimes we don't realize that we are in a process. You
hmm
know, so maybe I look like a worm to someone else, but eventually maybe I will look like a butterfly, or I don't know, or maybe not. I
you look
will
like
be
a
worm for
you
my
look like
entire
a
life.
butterfly to me. You're a butterfly to me, Caesar. I
Thank
love
you,
it. I
thank you
love
so
it.
much.
One of
But
the things too.
go,
Oh, we got dead air. That's not good.
yeah.
I was just gonna say one of the things that people relate to, for me at least, and this is what they tell me, is your stories. You tell stories, and I can relate to those, and those are personal, and they're part of who we are. And honestly, if I get in a public situation without having taken the time to write them down, some of those stories go untold. But like you said, the exercise is to really, because I can think about them all day long. But the exercise then is to write them down, do some editing, think about what the most important points of those stories are, because
Mm,
I boiled those down to 2 or 3 sentences, or not even that much. But
mm,
but to think about those things that make you up, and the stories for me um, are um, they're what makes my sermons relatable. You
mm,
relate to me through my story, and it also relates to you because you have similar stories. We all have similar stories,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's like
I
we
mean, I'm
are
sure
mirrors for other people.
right. And those, and being light, you know, you can look back and go, I too had a really good Sunday school teacher when I was a kid. That person,
Right.
you know what, if they're still alive, I should probably reach out to them and thank them. Or, you know what I'm saying? That would
Right.
be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Just to let them
You
know they
know,
were a light. Yeah.
but why? When I was hearing your sermon, I started to ask myself, why it's so hard for us to see light in other people?
Mm,
Because I believe that everybody in this world has a sparkle of light given by God. And this is
yeah.
not just my thoughts, that's in the Gospel of John, chapter 1.
Right.
Go, people behind the screen, go and read it. Is that? I mean, it's so, but it's so hard for us to see the light in other people.
Why is
Why
that?
do
Are
you
we
think
just
is that?
skeptics? Are we skeptics or just,
Yeah,
why are we so critical? And
I am.
you know, honestly, we're critical of ourselves too. I mean, so we can lose
Right.
our own life being critical of ourselves.
Hmm. Yeah, but I realize that so many times people just walk around our lives. I mean, I'm sorry, we pass by their lives, or
Hmm.
they pass by our lives, and sometimes we don't realize that there was a shiny, bright light, and we didn't. I didn't acknowledge that, and then after a while, I regret that I didn't uh,
Appreciate them.
value,
Yeah.
appreciate them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that is so sad. And I think this time of the year is a great time to reach out to someone that maybe we didn't appreciate in the past, and say, you were a light for me, something like that.
Or even maybe we appreciated them, but we never told them, you know?
Yeah.
What kind of gift would that be to have those people in your life or my life come up to me and say, you know what, you were a real gift to me at some point in my life. Dude, I mean, talk
Wow.
about you don't need to buy me anything. That was the most precious gift I've ever received, you know?
Yeah, that's the gift,
So,
actually. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So maybe that's a beautiful challenge for this season of the year.
Hmm.
Go tell someone that you appreciate them, not just now. In the past, you were silent, maybe, but this is a very nice challenge to for our people to go there. And a lot of times in Amor Original, I said you could be the gospel for someone else. You could be the answer for a prayer to someone else. So maybe
Yep.
we can be the gift for
Yep.
someone else, not
Yep.
something
I
like physical.
I
I'm
love it.
glad if you want to buy something physical for me. That's fine. But
Yeah, right.
but
Right.
good, but good words from the
Yeah.
heart. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
very like
I love it. I
is
love it.
is is way more valuable than you know tons of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Like like
I know you're glad to have all your family back in town. Matthias
yes,
made it, so everybody's together.
yeah,
I guess my wish for everybody watching today is I hope that you're surrounded by the folks that you love this season, and that you can just enjoy presence, not gifts, but presence. Enjoy people's presence.
yes,
Like I mentioned, love your parents. Love your parents. You won't always have them with you. I think about mortality a lot, and uh, let them know what they mean to you. I'm going to give
right.
my mom an extra big hug this Christmas, so and let her know that I really do appreciate her and I love her. So
I'll do
let's
the
all
same.
do that.
I'll do this. Yeah,
Cool.
let's all do that. That's awesome.
Yep. Yep.
Trey, thank you very much because every time that I invite you to do this, to talk a little bit about the last sermon, you always say yes. And
Yep.
thank you for that.
I will. I love you, man. Listen, you're going
I
to be
love
here
you
in
too.
February.
I hope
You're
so.
supposed.
It's all about up to, Helman now.
Gotcha.
Please,
Gotcha.
Helman
Okay.
now. Bring me to Austin.
Right. Right. Well, I'm looking forward to a reunion with you soon, and hope you have a great Christmas and a happy New Year.
You too, my friend. God bless
All
you.
right,
I
man.
love you.
Love
I
you
love
too,
you.
man. Be
There
safe.
was some left over. Peace.